Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone for preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out. And this is from RT.com as of May the 2nd, 2023, business news category. And it reads, dollar being gradually abandoned. The IMF boss says Christina Georgieva, if I pronounced the last name right, it says there are no viable alternatives for a global reserve currency. Well, seems like China, seems like they trying to be the next top global reserve currency. They trying to replace the United States as being the top global currency reserve, as you've been seeing as of lately for the past 3 weeks now. 3.5 weeks, you've been having the nations been turning away from the American dollar. So a potential replacement might be China on top of that list to replace the United States as a greenback top global currency reserve, which the nations used to depend on, because you had these other nations coming with different alternatives to form their own currency as they continue to ditch the American dollar and coming with their own form of currency. I just want to add a note to that. But continuing on with the reading, it says the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, which is the IMF, has said the U.S. dollar is gradually losing its status as the world's main reserve currency. Speaking on Monday, Christiana noted that there is no viable alternative among global currencies to replace the greenback in the near future. It says there has been gradually a shift away from the dollar. It was 70% of reserve. Now it's slightly under 60%. Georgieva, if I pronounce her name right, stated at the 2023 Michael Institute Global Conference in Beverly Hills, California. It says, according to the IMF chief, the euro can be viewed as the biggest competitor to the dollar. Well, you got nations turning away from the euro dollar as well too. It says, according to the IMF, the chief of the euro can be viewed as the biggest competitor to the dollar, with the British pound, the Japanese yen, and the Chinese yuan play a very modest role. She stressed that the leading factor, the trust in the currency of this or that country, is the strength of its economic and the depth of the capital markets. And if you are thinking of an alternative in a world which may migrate to central digital bank currency, right? That's what we're entering into, which is the CDBC. It says massive, right? Because once this central digital bank currency is being fully implemented and being fully shown, that shows you that the American dollar is going to be no value very soon, because we're entering in this new form of currency, which is the central digital bank currency. It says, if you're thinking of an alternative in a world which may migrate to central bank digital currency massively, I don't see any alternative. I do see it coming anytime soon. And it says Gerald Grover highlighted the major shocks of the past few years. The you know what demic. It says the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the spike in interest rates after years of losing monetary policy, calling them a series of unthinkable events. She explained that the rapid transit for low to high interest rates has exposed vulnerability in the finance sector, and the high exposure of the U.S. banking sector to the crisis have come as a surprise to the IMF analysts. Right. First it was the Silicon Valley Bank. Then the market's been up and down, having good solid gains. Then it been crashing a lot due to the fact of the markets was reacting what's going on with the Silicon Bank, and then what the Federal Reserve is they gonna raise the interest rates while they continue to tackle the inflation. So, we definitely been seeing that all of from 2021, 2022, and now in 2023 as well too. That has a huge impact of that. So that's what she been talking about. And then with the latest bank crisis as well too, with the Silicon Valley Bank and other banks that's in the United States that have felt the effects of that as well too, and globally as well too. The markets and the banks of over there in Switzerland, Europe and China, they felt the effects of that as well too. And then now, as of recently, you had the First Republic Bank. They felt the same similar attributes of the Silicon Valley banks and other banks around the world as well too. So that's what definitely been going on from last year all the way into this year as well too. Definitely in the year 2023. Won't be surprised we see it once again. But that shows you that we're about to entering into this new form of currency, even though it's already here. But it's going to be soon to be fully revealed of a new form of currency, as the paper dollar is going to be a thing of the past as we entering this central digital bank currency. And that goes into the Revelations 13 and verse 16 through verse 18 of this soon to come MARK, which is the Karagma, this new form of currency, the central digital bank currency. So that's why you see these nations coming with different alternatives to turn away and ditch the American dollar. Because soon to come, as she was mentioning, the boss of the IMF, as I was reading this news article, she's saying that the United States is losing its credibility. Their credibility of being a top global reserve of the nations that used to depend on. It's losing its top status as a global reserve currency of the greenback American dollar as a currency. So they don't trust in American dollar or the euro dollar anymore, So they're coming with their own form of currency of different alternatives of payments, So as she says again, it says the dollar is being gradually abandoned, right? And that's true. So the nations are turning away from the American dollar, as the United States as a top global currency losing its value on an everyday basis, As we about to soon to come enter this new form of currency, which is the central digital bank currency, right along with Fed now as well too. Definitely over here in the United States, as a prime example. And I'm gonna bring out the Revelations 13th chapter in the 16th verse. And this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 16, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. And he calls all, both small and great, rich or poor, free or bond, to receive that MARK in there RIGHTHAND, or in there FOREHADS. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 17, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures, and that no man might buy or sell and say, he had the MARK, which is the charagma, or the name of the BEAST, which is this current system, or the number of his name. Right, so even if you're rich or poor, free or bond, to receive that MARK, which is that charagma, unto all nations is going to be revealed to, in our nation as well too. In order to buy or sell, you got to have that CHIP stored in you, the upper part of your body and the right part of your body. So that's a prime example. Soon to come, this central digital bank currency is going to be a full new way of currency and a new way of living, because the paper dollar is soon to come. It's going to be a thing of the past as we're moving forward. As the days progresses on in modern day times, this is going to be a new form of currency, because the paper dollar is going to be soon no more value. That's why the nation's coming with their own form of currency. So this is, what we're seeing, This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. Here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of the BEAST, which is this current system. For it is the number of a man, and it's SI, and his number is SIX, 103 score, and SIX. So yeah, as we entering this central digital bank currency, and as you have it, she made this announcement. She's the boss and manager of IMF, as she was at the Beverly Hills global conference as of yesterday. She made that announcement. This is very true, and other nations came to spoke about this. I believe the representation of Russia and other nations spoke about this as well too, saying, economic expertise in regards to the economics. They spoke about as of lately, as we see, the American dollar is gradually decreasing, declining, and being abandoned, So as we continue to see the downfall of the American dollar as not being a top global currency reserve like how it used to, because it's losing its value on an everyday basis. While once again, like I mentioned, you have these other nations been turning away and ditching the American dollar and the euro dollar as well too, as we entering this new form of currency, this central digital bank currency. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone for preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. Until next time, I will say shalom.